Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Awashai, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Awashai, Brakathiya Howell, Brakathiya Howell, Bashim Awashai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, True Well. Salutations to the whole for the elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shaman, this one's going to be investing update. Was that $460 in 2 days. And if you were watching the show, if you followed the last lesson, first of all, man, I just want to say water for every single brother, person, whatever that used that link in that YouTube video. And I pray that the Most High blessed you with a good stock startup. To those that might have come across the video, that's not necessarily in the truth. May the Most High bless you as well, because I plan to use this money when I do withdraw it to the tights, and maybe may the Most High bless you for that too. To those that are not necessarily following this thing. All right, so pretty much, brothers, I want to follow up on the lesson I did. It was my literal first day, and put 100 in. I got lucky with a free stock. Got a stock in Visa. Today I sold it and diversified, and it's been 2 days in this market. And Salakia, I haven't been getting into too many prophecies because I wanted to gather as much information that I can with this, that I may share it with you, Akim. And as you know, so I've been focusing all my attention really on what I could share with brothers. So let's get started. Let's link this with scriptures. And first of all, I want to say this thing, it's better to have information with those that are familiar with it, man. All right, so the priest Palau, the priest Quanawath, man, that brother, woof, man, that brother. Hey, shout out to you, Wak, because this brother is very, but he had that spirit prior to this. You know what I'm saying? You have certain brothers that they like to look into shit, right? Like they're just very minute about everything that they do and touch, and he's one of those brothers. So he's telling me different stock option stuff, certain stuff that I looked up on my own. But the brother's doing really good. So is the priest Palau, like, man. And it all starts with counsel. It all starts with getting information and put it in what you get out. Please, brothers, don't think this is some some scratch off scheme. You scratch off and hit big and put it in your mouth. Now you're right back in the same hole. You can't really think like that with this shit. So I'm going to give you some advice on it. I'm going to link it with the scriptures. And as I said in the last episode, series to this, we have wisdom, man. We're not fools. And I'm gathering that, look, if you have the wisdom of the scriptures, you could succeed in this market. You should really, because it deals with discipline. And let me just get into some scriptures. Proverbs 15:22. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. So if you just jump right into this thing without any counsel, without any advice, oh man, I heard about Bitcoin. Jump in and throw $500 in Bitcoin. You're gonna go broke, man, real fast. You don't want to do that. You want as much counsel as possible before you make your next move on these investments. And contact the nearest brother in your camp. And if you're just watching this, or you might be on your own, I'm gonna share with you an app that you could use. And really, you just get what you put in, man. How much you study this thing. Different videos on YouTube brothers have been watching, how to trade it, how to do options, what to buy, what to sell. And the app that I want to recommend is this app right here called, I just downloaded it too. It's called, so when you get this app, right now it's saying the market is neutral. The market closed, by the way. The stock market closed. It's called Vestivest, right? See if I can get the name of this app. Vestor. So it's VESTOR. You could download this in the App Store, Vestor. And pretty much what the app does is it tells you how to, what stocks is popping, and even in several different countries, because I'm using the 14-day free trial. And the reason I got it because I saw somebody in the commentary on the review said, look, I've been using this app for 20 years. So that's another thing, you want validity, and it has that. So I use that app, just got it today, because you have certain brothers that or certain people that's in a situation where, look, I don't know anybody, I don't know what to do. I just have no complete idea. You could use people that know what the fuck they're doing, you know? And the worst thing you could do, honestly, in this society right now, to be honest, is to make your FRNs just sit in your account because it's only getting devalued over time. There's no profit in saving FRNs right now. So, um, going back to the lesson Apostle Departed, he bought silver. Yeah, a good investment to do, right? Now look, let's look at this, right? I made 400 over $400, right? Out of thin air, out of nothing. I didn't do anything. It just came out of thin air. Wouldn't it be wise to take out about 200 out of 200 of those dollars, right? That came out of thin air and buy silver, right? So you take out 200, you buy silver, and you don't buy silver and gold and precious metals to flip it, all right? I know that you hear gold went up 40% um since Nixon took the dollar off the since Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, right? But you don't buy gold and precious metals to sell them. You buy them as stored value, all right? Because hypothetically speaking, this money could disappear overnight, man. The stock market could crash, and this is all digital, right? So what you would do now is that $200 that you have taken out in actual tangible assets, it's not going to get affected by the stock market. And when everything bombs out, you use that $200 and invest back into the markets. All right, invest back into the market. That $200, you know, you could buy cheap ass stocks. I mean, when the shit bombs, that's really the best time to buy. That's what people do. That's how the rich stay rich, the wealthy stay rich, wealthy because they take out this fiat currency, they buy tangible assets, crash the markets, and buy back those fiat funny currencies at a very low price. So I would definitely suggest if you do make bank, hey Mac, you may surpass what I have right here in a day. Who knows, man? You know, I mean, the max you could get off that free startup is like 500. You know, and I want to say this too: don't share the link that I have in the description. You know, after you sign up, if you do choose to sign up, um, use your own link. All right, because this is not a pyramid scheme. This isn't something where you know you sign up, we all benefit. If you know, come back to me. I'm not doing no pyramid scheme shit. I see the opportunity for where brothers can make money, and I'm gonna share that information. And while we're still here, kind of have that mentality of like, look, there's no reason to just think America is gonna fall tomorrow and live your life that way. You know, it's good to think that way, but don't live your life that way. I remember the elder, I could say Elder Napi was telling me, look, man, 20 something years ago, we was eating all types of bullshit because we thought America was gonna be destroyed. Now the elders are what? Watching their health, man. So it goes beyond just invested. I'm just saying like there's certain shit you wanna do, you know, even though we hope and pray that this place is destroyed, you know, you don't want to live your life that way necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Going on to the next scripture, Proverbs 21:20. There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, right? First and foremost, you know, this is going into, of course, the scriptures. You know, you have scriptures like Matthew, the 6th chapter, you know, Isaiah, buy oil and milk without price. So, but I'm going to use it in this case to just, um, you know, just pretty much, how you say, just link it pretty much. I'm going to link this with the situation that we're dealing with now. There's treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. See that? So there is, you know, possibility to make more for the treasures being more bread in this instance, right? So there's possibility to get more bread in this particular market right here, right? But if you're foolish, you're gonna say, "Whoa, shit, man! I just made $400. I'm putting it in my bank account." Then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna be right back in that fucking hole. You know, if you're not disciplined enough, right? And brothers are showing discipline, even when you do lose a few bread. Because look, man, you could when you get more advanced with this thing, you could bet if a stock is gonna go up and down, and you could make bank if you bet correctly. So I mean, shit. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to be gained, right? But take it one step at a time. And if you make a certain amount of income, don't just take out your bread and fucking take out your money or whatever you make, and as a nigga would do, a nigga would just what take that money out, go to some sneaker store, camp out online for about 5 hours, 6 hours for some shoes that cost less than $5 to make, right? So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna be smart, right? We're gonna do what the scriptures say. So you might take out a partial of your capital, whatever you made, right, and put maybe a fourth or half in silver. That way you have a tangible sureties, all right? You have a tangible surety, and don't buy Bitcoin is not a surety, all right? You might hear people say that. It's not, okay? It's fiat, digital fiat currency. So don't invest in that. I wouldn't recommend it. Even if that shit goes up to $15,000 a share. They're using that to scam a lot of people. So avoid that shit, man. Even though you might hear otherwise. But we know that from the scriptures, right? Proverbs 21 verse 5. The thoughts of the diligent tend unto plenteousness, but everyone that is hasty only to want, right? So diligent, right? We know diligent to be diligent, sharp point, really to show a lot of patience, right? So one that is diligent shows patience, pretty much on point, do what you got to do, tends only onto plentiness. And I know this pertains to this word and growing up into this word, but again, I'm linking these scriptures up to the situation that I'm doing a lesson on, right? So look at plentiness, right? um Matazar, Matazahar, right? And it's abundance, profit, right? So if you're diligent, you're gonna tend to the profit, right? But you have to being diligent requires patience. Remember, this thing is literally like planting a seed, right? When you plant a seed, right, you plant a seed in the earth. You know that it's not gonna grow till a few months. You know what I'm saying? You have to think that way. You have to think, I'm not gonna get to see how this harvest is until a few months. You don't just put seed in the ground and come at the seed you put in the ground the next day expecting a full stalk and a full. You know what I'm saying? It says, but everyone that is hasty only to want. So somebody that's hasty, they get money, spend it right away. Just being very hasty, they always gonna be in want. They're always gonna be in need because people like that normally splurge at a rate that they're not. Pretty much their outcome is not matching their income. The amount of money they spend and shit is can't match the lifestyle that they wish to live because they're so hasty. You know, so don't be too hasty if you signed up and you got a small stock of a fuck it. I get a $200 stock. I'm out of here. No, all right. You don't want to do that. You want to now get information. You got in the market, right? And how could I make my money make more money, right? While I'm here in Babylon, and understand that look, this is not some get rich scheme where I'm gonna make billions of dollars or millions of dollars in a week or a month. You know what I'm saying? It requires a lot of patience. And when you have that downtime, you know, you research and you look up and you get into this thing, man. If it wasn't profitable, I'd have been like, look, brother, I don't see any much profit in this, but there's profit in it. And I didn't want to use a screenshot. I wanted to show brothers, look, this is real time. You know, I'm gonna tell you how I got it too. This is real time. This is me. This is real time. This is not a screenshot. I'm gonna prove exactly what I said. All right, so investing, and as I said, I put in $100 when I did that lesson, and I put another $40 the other day, so I put in 140 total. So this is I'm not pulling nothing on my ass. I'm being as transparent as possible, right? Being transparent as possible with this shit. And I'm gonna tell you what I did, man. I studied this stuff up, and then I just told a lot of people to sign up. And that's another thing you could do when you telling people to sign up. You have to speak with conviction. You have to speak with what you know, and you have to speak with the knowledge in your head. That way, if you're using that, you could use the free stocks to build a base platform for yourself. The more people you get to sign up, the more money you could possibly get. But you have to know what you're talking about. You're not gonna convince everybody like, yo, man, just buy this, man, just download it, bro. No, you have to really get into how it could benefit someone, and it's good to kind of carry this around to show them. People want to see evidence. Like, boom, look, I've been in it this long. You know, I did this move, that move, and you know, in 3 days, since this is a reward stock, this will be in my account. I plan to do this. I have this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at the point where, look, I don't really. I'm about to max out the upon amount of people I have using a free stock because I think they stop you at $500 or whatever, right? So right now I'm just purely doing this just to share information. The whole brothers have the same results with it and that same discipline. Because it would be awesome if we could all, you know, make a little bread for ourselves. And when we pull out our bread, of course, the first thing you want to do is a tenth of that, whatever you want to take out, a tenth of that you're gonna put in your account, the tenth of your surplus. You already know that's gonna go to tights, man. You know what I'm saying? The thoughts of the diligence tend only to plenteousness, but of every one that is hasty, only to one, right? And of course, this, even though this thing is based in fact, you know, the $400 whatever in about 2 days, it's also a title that could, you know, get a lot of jakes to watch this video, clickbait if you will, right? But really, it you know what, man? Be honest, I just definitely want to give brothers this information, man. Because look, I could have just said, you know, the world's, you know, America's down tomorrow, fuck this shit, and I could have, you know, I could have missed out on a bag, man. You know. And another thing, this right here proves that even the scriptures speak about diversifying. You know, because that's what I did, man. I put a little bit of everything. I got a little bit of something in everything, right? I didn't just get this the money and just put it all in one bread in one basket. Because you know who said to do that? Warren Buffett. Be careful of that dude, man. Be careful of that dude, Warren Buffett, man. Yeah, that nigga. Some of the shit he said, I'd be like, man, I don't know about that. You know. Ecclesiastes 11:2. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. See that? So that's the Lord telling us, look, diversify your bonds, man. Because that's the same scripture that I brought on the last lesson about casting your bread upon the waters, meaning investing your money. And the scripture goes on to say the what? Diverse your money. Put your money in a little bit of this, a little bit of that, man. You know? Cast your seed upon different things that it may grow. And I give you an example of that. One of the free stocks that you hear me talk about that I got was Visa, and it was for $210, man. And only had one share in it. And I told Pilar what I did. He said that made sense. I took that one share, sold it, and bought 12 shares of this stock right here, which this Diamond Eagle acquisition, apparently they're about to do a merger with DraftKings, and the stock is going to shoot up. So diversify it, man. If you get in this thing, don't just take out all your savings and throw it all into Bitcoin or some cryptocurrency shit. Diversify it, you know. And look, man, the scriptures. This isn't the scriptures, man. This is Solomon, the wealthiest of the wealthiest, telling us how to do with our money, man. Don't put your egg in all one basket. If you plan to invest, don't invest all in one basket. You know. Take advantage of whatever brothers say to do to make an extra money in the society, man. Whether it be a second gig doing the ride shares, man. You know, that's your car. Now you're making your car pay for itself, or whatever you want to do with the money you get out of Lyft and Uber and pay extra bills. And, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know. Proverbs 13:11. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished. So, you know, like I said in the last lesson, we all will love schemes to get a quick bag, right? And which is not hard per se, but the hard part is what? Doing it legally, because everything, Esau knows that there's different methods to make good money. So what he does is he make it illegal, you know? Certain different things you could do. I'm not talking about selling drugs and shit like that, but what we have to be subject to the higher powers, Romans the 13th chapter. So don't try to get it by vanity, because it shall be diminished. These devils gonna always catch up with you, man. If you try to cut corners, eventually they do. You know, whether you're a scammer or whatever, hustling the street, that you know you hustling something you're not supposed to be hustling. It's not even worth, man, because even you try to make you know, as much money as you can quickly. Now they catch you, you have 10, 15 years behind bars, and you will gladly come out and flip burgers, right? So don't even go that route. But he that gathereth by labor shall increase. So, this is a form of labor in a sense. You're watching the markets, you saying, look, I'm going to pull out some money now, buy silver with the rest to, because I think this shit is going to crash this, day, that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a little bit of labor that goes into it, but no physical labor at least, man. Um, Hey, look, so that's what I got right now. I showed you the apps to get. This app is the Robinhood app. The link is gonna be in the description. Sign up with my link, you get a free stock. Then once you get your own thing, you get your own link so you can share it with somebody else. I'm not gonna. I also see. I mean, I didn't just. Again, brothers, I went hard, man. I didn't just do a YouTube video on this, man. I told people at my job about it. Whoever I could, man. Whoever I could sit down and talk to, just to get the ability to have that base of that free stock, man. All right, and to invest it. Right. So, hey, man. I pray you brothers. I pray you brothers have success with this thing. Okay. I hope brothers were edified. Um, who knows, man? I think this is it, man. But if there's any major updates, anything I see, any nooks and crannies I know about, man, I might do a part 3. But it hasn't even been a week yet. It hasn't even been a week yet. You see it. One up 302% in a few days. This is no bullshit. This is not no gimmick. So, yeah, brothers, look into it. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which you well. And salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim, Tzdakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. And Shalak Rayam Al Kala, the 1 million Mugawayim with 2/3. And those that gainsay against the prophets in secret or publicly. Shalom.